Here we are in the Hoh Valley rainforest. This is a cathedral, my cathedral. In this forest is the quietest place in the entire United States, and it's only 1 square inch in size. My mission is to keep it that way. I'm Gordon Hempton. I'm a sound tracker. I travel the globe in search of vanishing sounds, including the most endangered of all, which is simply silence. Noise pollution is nearly inescapable. The Hoh Valley is the quietest, least noise-polluted place in the entire lower 48. I don't know if I can save silence, but I know that I can try. So it was 12 years ago, 2005 Earth Day, that I hiked up the Hoh River Valley. It took 3 miles just to escape the noise of the parking lot. That's when I was looking in every direction for which way I should go. I saw the elk trail, loved to follow their advice because they love quiet just like I do. And they led me right to the spot. It's just through that tree, then off into the woods. I defend this 1 square inch of silence by doing both quiet and noise monitoring. When a noise intrusion occurs, I locate the noise maker, send them a letter, and ask for compliance. This matter is urgent. Within 10 years, it's likely that there will be no quiet places left unless we take action. When I first started, I did not think silence would go extinct in my lifetime. And if that happens, the quiet will disappear and the wildlife will be devastated. The 1 Square Inch of Silence Foundation is pressing our politicians to pass a single piece of legislation that will designate Olympic National Park as the world's first quiet park off limits to aircraft. All things are possible. The earth is here, and it's beautiful. And for me, it all starts here in the Hoh Valley.
Pájaros para mí es escuchar sus sonidos. Hay aves que tienen sonidos muy bonitos, que sabes que tienen sonidos muy simples. Yo creo que al ser ciego disfruto las aves de otra forma. El sonido de las aves para mí es la forma con la que tengo de apreciar este mundo. Mi nombre es Juan Pablo Culazo y hace 14 años que registro los sonidos de la naturaleza. Yo soy ciego de nacimiento, lo único que puedo ver son luces, mi mundo son sonidos, es todo el tipo de información que recibo en primer lugar sonora. Ver los pájaros para mí es escuchar sus sonidos. Para mí un pájaro cantando, cuando escucho su sonido, a mi entender, yo ya lo estoy viendo. Con los ojos no me hace falta, no me haría falta verlos. Para mí el sonido de las aves es música. El sonido del venteveo tiene sus notas musicales bien establecidas. El hornero tiene un canto muy estridente, se puede escuchar a grandes distancias, ¿no? Después tenés el tero, con su sonido muy famoso que es tero, tero, tero todo el tiempo. Uno de los cantos más melódicos que podemos tener en Uruguay, que es el zorzal. El zorzal tiene un silbar que trae mucha paz. La importancia de registrar las aves es justamente la conservación. El trabajo que realizo de captar y registrar los sonidos de las aves es también parte de nuestro patrimonio natural que lamentablemente el ser humano lo está destruyendo. Entonces, para mí grabar cada sonido en un lugar distinto, bueno, es como tener un registro, es como tener un pedacito de aquel lugar en un archivo de audio.
Every place in the world sounds unique. These soundscapes tell us a story about that place. They tell us the ways in which global warming is beginning to change the natural soundscape. Just before the sun rises at first light is the dawn chorus. The birds begin to sing, and the insects and the amphibians, and that's the time of day to go out and listen. I'm a soundscape ecologist, and I record animals for a living. This is Sugarloaf State Park. Every spring, I can probably be found there once a week, recording in the same spot, using the same kind of equipment, so that I can repeat these recordings over and over again and compare them. And I have quite an archive of material which shows over time this habitat has been changing pretty radically as a result of global warming and the California drought. The first recording, made in 2004, shows a very robust habitat with a signature of a stream. In 2014, things were changing radically. It was already the second year of a major drought in California. And in 2015, we had what I call a silent spring. Over 50% of my collection comes from habitats that are so radically altered, they're either altogether silent or can no longer be heard in their original form. Here's an example from Costa Rica. That's before logging, this is after. Same spot. This is a coral reef, Vanuatu in Fiji. Part of it is dying and part of it is still living. Here's what the living part sounds like. Here's what the dying part sounds like. Hardly any fish sounds. We really don't know what this means in the long run. In the short run, we're beginning to lose these soundscapes because the habitats are just changing so radically, and we're partly to blame for that. When I first began to record almost 50 years ago, I would go out into the field and just put on a pair of earphones and sit and listen because it made me feel good. It made me aware of the living world around me. And so I want to do anything that does that for me.
The weather is really in your face in New Orleans. It is a character in the play of New Orleans. This instrument, the Weather Warlock, is an audio mirror of the sunrise and sunset. So theoretically, a blind person could experience the sunrise and sunset through audio in real time. My name is Quintron. It's not my real name. It's a given musician's name. I definitely consider myself first and foremost to be a musician, but I'm also a builder and inventor of electronic musical instruments, and the device that we're talking about today is called the Weather Warlock, which is a weather-controlled analog synth. Right now we're hearing the sun just start to activate the UV sensors on the outdoor sensor unit. That puttering sound is the sound of that sensor just starting to get enough light to sonically activate it. It's using the weather to create music. There's no microphones, it's not the sound of rain. There are two components, an inside set of brains, which is the synthesizer part, and an outdoor set of sensors. There is a temperature sensor, which is affecting the speed of the drone, this drone. There is a set of wind speed controlled sensors. The faster the wind blows, the faster they activate these two notes. There is a moisture sensor, or rain, or humidity, or snow. The last one would be the sky sensor, which is a sensor at the top and a little periscope that's aiming at the sky. So you can play it like an instrument too. You can just let it do its thing, but I can also, change the timbre of the drone. So sunrise is officially over, according to the Weather Warlock and everyone else. Check, 1, 2. Good evening. You are tuned into weatherfortheblind.org, broadcasting as usual out of New Orleans, Louisiana. The Weather Warlock has become a live 24/7 online musical feed. Sunrise was at 5:15 this morning, and sunset happening now, as you can hear, according to our UV sensors. This hasn't made me see a sunset differently. You can just hear it now.
Welcome to Hansen Island, a remote place on the west coast of Canada, about 10 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide. This island belongs to two groups, the First Nations and the ORCA. For most of my life, I've had the great good fortune of living here in this incredible environment and studying this incredible creature, and it's given me a sense of peace in the world. I want everybody to have that same experience. My name is Paul Spong, and 47 years ago I was a young scientist at the University of British Columbia, and part of my job was to study an orca in captivity at the Vancouver Aquarium. I came to understand that orcas are acoustic creatures because they're using sound to locate their prey. They get what they need to live from sound. They should not be penned up in concrete tanks that deprive them of the sound of the ocean that they were born into. Ultimately, that knowledge led me to search for a place in the wild where I could study orcas, totally without interfering with them. And that search led me to Hansen Island, where I set up Orca Lab. We built a network of half a dozen hydrophones that cover 50 square kilometers of the surrounding area. And they give us live audio so we can track their movements, often 24 hours a day. 61 and 60 are right there.
Yeah.
For me, one of the greatest experiences here is putting on a pair of earphones and just listening. And then we have speakers in the forest, near the tents, near the outhouse, near the camp kitchen, all of the spaces around here. One of the things you can't help noticing and feeling is the sudden intrusion of a boat, of a vessel, of a propeller. It's jarring. Here at Orca Lab, we listen to untold quantities of boat noise. It's really annoying. We can always walk away from it, but whales can't. It disrupts their communication. It disrupts their ability to hunt.
I've had quite a few breaches as well.
I think from a point of view of the welfare of the whales, something that has to be dealt with. What I want to do is develop the ability for people to get to feel empathy for the creature. Since 2000, we've streamed live audio so that anybody with computer access to the internet can listen to exactly what we listen to in our lab.
Whoa, look, it's right up at the...
What we're trying to do is give people a taste of what it is to be an orca in this magnificent environment. In doing that, they will come to care and want to protect nature. I believe that if I can share what I have experienced, the world could know peace.